All right, folks, it's D, and I'm back, and we're talking everybody's favorite subject, Dragon Ball, a topic that I can't stop talking about. Yes, it's an obsession, but who cares? But on this video, I wanted to actually bring in a guest for the first time and talk about, because I could talk about it myself, but it's probably more fun to talk about with a different mind here. So, from the Southern Hemisphere, I want to introduce Super Jayain. And did I say your name right?
You did, correct.
And
Yes.
the first question everybody from up here wants to know is, do the toilets really flush backwards?
I actually don't know. I've seen that Simpsons episode and I cannot tell you because I never looked it up.
So
I have no
what you're saying is that we're the ones who are backwards and you're the ones who are straight.
I don't know, man. I've seen the episode, but I haven't gone to the toilet and had a look. I haven't paid any attention, man, when I go to the
I
toilet.
see. So see, you're not like me. When you go to the toilet, you don't turn around and just look at the turd and examine it. You just flush and you're done. That's what you're saying.
Pretty much, yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Pretty
just
much.
my own sickness. So,
Uh,
so we're gonna plug your YouTube channel. I'm gonna go ahead and put either an annotation. I'll put the link in the comments below, because you have a YouTube channel and you show off your incredibly massive collection
Thank you.
of Dragon Ball merchandise. It's very. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, bro. I have a lot of Dragon Ball stuff, but I don't have all the stuff that you have. But I do have that Dragon Box 2 with Vegeta, though. I do have that one.
Damn it. How'd you get that?
I
Yeah, they're
got it when it
selling it.
first came out. That was
Yeah.
the first one I got, bro. That's the funny thing.
Ah, yeah, no, well, you can't get it now for any less than $800, so it's not an easy one to track down.
So
Yeah.
let me tell you, and this is gonna piss you off, bro. This is actually this is for you and it's for all the people that are listening right now, all you guys. And first of all, before we even get to that, big shout out to everybody listening. We got a lot of international folks, not just you. People in Romania, like Emmanuel. People up in the Netherlands. Captain Stars and Stripes. Big shout outs to all of you international people. So Jay, so check it out. So you're not gonna believe this one, and I don't think the listeners are gonna believe it either. The YouTubers, and of course, comment, subscribe. So a buddy of mine. So I got a buddy of mine who's a big movie collector, right?
Yep.
Bro, you're not gonna believe this. I still can't. I'm still like, I still have a heart attack over this. About 2 months ago, he goes to a movie stop. Do you have those down there?
We got the video stores and whatnot. We have like DVD machines where you can rent movies from machines, but yeah,
Well, we have that
that's
too. But
yeah.
movie stop. Do you have GameStop?
We don't have GameStop. We've got EB Games
Oh,
and
okay.
JB Hi-Fi, places like that.
Well, EB Games is GameStop. Like EB Games changed their name to GameStop. I guess it was only over here, but they have another store called Movie Stop, right? Which is movies more so than games. Well, anyways, so my friend, a buddy of mine who is a subscriber, I don't know if he's gonna listen to this or not, but hopefully he will, and he'll probably pop. He goes in there, right? And he's got a girl that works there who's a friend of his, and what does he see there? Dragon Box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, bro. The first 6 Dragon Boxes, right?
Yep.
He immediately buys them because he knew what I told him about those Dragon Boxes and how expensive they are, how rare they are. So he buys them, right? Puts them on eBay for, I think he sold all of them for $600, 100 each, which is,
Yep.
it's a little cheaper than on Amazon and whatnot, but here's what really blew my mind. Somebody sold them to Movie Stop, and anybody out there who's been to GameStop, and you said you know about EB Games,
Absolutely.
they're a bunch of assholes. You buy a game for $60, you bring it back the next day, you get 20 for it.
Yep. Yeah,
This
if they do that. Yeah.
Bro, this had to have been like a soccer mom, or they got $8 per box, bro. Think about that. They had they
Yeah.
had the Dragon boxes in their possession.
Yep.
Movie Stop paid them $8. All they had to do was put it in Google, and they would have seen the actual value. And
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, how stupid can you be? But again, soccer mom probably had no idea.
No
Probably,
idea, but
you know.
look, that pisses me off though, man, because
Right? No,
that's like
it pissed me off too. Go ahead.
that's corporations just taking advantage of people. But that's what they do. It's business. It's the same as if you go to a pawn store, you trade something in. They've got to make value on it. But yeah, $8. I mean, that's a bit low
And you
for a
said pawn, not porn. You said pawn store.
We pawn, no, well, pawn. You know, we kind of call them whatever down here. You know what I mean?
No, I know, but it's just your accent made it sound like you said porn store,
No,
which
no,
I.
no. No, not the adult store, not the adult store or anything like that. We're
I
not
was gonna
talking
say
about
I haven't bought from there in about 3 days. No, but seriously, um,
that.
no, but dude, I was tripping out, and I was actually looking to buy them off of him, but he wasn't I smartened him up, bro. But
Yep.
anyways, to the topic today, I'm over here ranting here, and then we're off topic. I want to talk about these new movies. I want to talk about Fukkatsu No F and Battle of Gods, and here's the question I'm gonna pose to you, and we can discuss it here. Um, okay. Everybody's excited about these new movies, including me. And we know we've criticized the films on the YouTube channel and outside of it on the internet. There's been criticisms of Toriyama. It's not anything a secret, but I'm still very excited to at least see the film. I'm excited for the extended version if we do get it. I'm excited for the fight scenes. The movie looks incredible. Like it looks visually beautiful.
It
But
does. Yeah, it does. And I'm just let me add in there
yeah,
that
yeah.
despite its flaws, it has its flaws. It has its plot holes. I'm glad we're getting some new content after 17 years. That's all I can say. You know what I mean? It's good to have new content.
And one thing I will say is, I have thought about this, and I was gonna make a different video about it, but I don't feel so upset about the whole plot thing anymore because I've kind of thought about two things. Number one, it might not even be Toriyama's fault. Because the way movies work, for people who don't know, is that you have a director, a writer, an editor. Sometimes the director and the writer all work together. Sometimes they don't. I mean, for all we know, what could have happened was Toriyama wrote the movie, they filmed the movie, it was done, and then they gave it to some editor, and they told the guy, listen, chop this thing down in 90 minutes, and he did it. And that happens a lot in. This happens a lot, people. You'd be surprised. And that's why they have awards for like best editors, because your job as an editor, because the director will sit in with the editor sometimes, right?
Yep.
But there are some movies where they just hand it off to the editor and say chop it down in 93 minutes or whatever. That could be what happened here. And from what Julian and from all these guys said, it sounds like it did happen because there's a lot of scenes that don't make any sense that are very disjointed. So if they do have an extended cut, that I'm actually gonna totally be very happy, and I'm actually thinking it's gonna be a way better movie with the extended cut.
Yeah, well, it's looking like it's missing about roughly 25 to half an hour, like minutes worth of footage, like 30 minutes worth of footage, from what I understand. And I have read that some of the manga parts have been left out of the film. So some of the stuff you read in the three manga chapters are not in the movie. So not
I
all of it, but some parts of
I
it.
thought it would be backwards. I thought it would be more in the movie than in the chapters. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty confident because look, Battle of Gods was kind of out of the blue. We didn't know there was a director's cut coming. It just kind of came.
Nobody
But
knew.
yeah, but I prefer the director's cut. I enjoyed all the extra footage. It doesn't really make it a better movie, but it kind of just adds a bit more to it, a bit more content to it. I think for Katsu no F, it will add to the movie and will add, like, not just add more content, it will also add more to the story and explanations. You know what I mean? Something
Yeah,
along those lines. Yeah.
that's what I'm hoping for. Definitely, and I'm
Mm,
sure there's a couple extra fight scenes here and there.
mm.
So, what I wanted to talk about is these new forms. All right. So now, and again, I'm gonna pose this question to all of the YouTubers as well. Go ahead and leave a comment about your thoughts. But here's the thing about this question. All right. Even though we all, because I have a feeling I know what some people are gonna say to this. They're gonna think I'm crazy, but you gotta really just sit back for a second. And here's here's the question. Here's what we're talking about. Are these transformations, and I'm talking about SS God, I'm talking about SS God SS, whatever, all these new forms that we've been seeing, including Gold Frieza, is it going too far? Is Dragon Ball going too far? Is it relying on these forms as crutches? Is it becoming a blatant marketing scheme at this point? We see a new form now in every movie, and I mean, I don't think any of us, and you tell me if you disagree with me. I don't think we expected a new form in this movie, bro. Because remember all the rumors we heard. There's no SSJ in the movie. We didn't see any of the blue stuff until like literally the week before the movie came out in
Yeah.
Japan, the pre-screening. I don't think any of us knew.
I Look, I thought that Vegeta would get a new form in the movie.
Yeah, the
Whether
God
that was
form, right?
yeah, I thought that he would get like the red God form that Goku had, but I didn't know that he'd get the blue equivalent of it. Even though that's what a lot of the fans speculated that's what Vegeta would get. That would be his color, blue. I didn't expect both of them to get a new like both of them to get the exact same form in this movie. I thought either Goku would get a new form or Vegeta would get a new form. I didn't expect them both to get a new form, sort of thing. As for the blue hair, I think it's an improvement over the red hair. I didn't mind the red hair, but I didn't really like how it slimmed Goku's shape down. It kind of made him look skinny. I
A
don't
lot
like.
of people didn't like that, bro.
Yeah, that's not Goku. That's not how he's drawn, in my opinion. I do prefer the blue hair to the red hair. Is it a marketing scheme? Are they taking it a bit too far? Are they copying themselves over and over again? In a way, they are, I guess, but it's kind of one of those things to me where if it isn't broke, don't fix it. People are always going to want new forms. It's also another thing. How are they going to make the characters seem like they're progressing if they don't give them new forms? That's another question,
Yeah,
you know?
that's always been kind of a Dragon Ball trope. Like since one of the things about Dragon Ball, and I gotta take myself out of myself for a minute, that a lot of the kids love, and that I certainly loved when I was younger, is the new forms. In fact, when you look at anime, just overall, and no, let's take it a step further. Not even anime, Japanese, everything Japanese. Godzilla, everything that's kaiju and tokusatsu and all that shit. Even Sentai, which is Power Rangers. They always do the whole forms thing. Pokemon. I mean, one of the things that made Pokemon so addicting for a lot of us is we wanted to see what the evolutions looked like,
Yeah,
and
exactly. Yep.
right.
Yeah.
So it's almost like we should expect it, but it just seems like okay, like again, there's two ways to look at it. How much stronger can these characters get, and really, I don't know if there's even a limit. There probably isn't really.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about Saiyans in particular. You can kind of put a roof over the Earthlings. You can put a roof over the Namekians. You can't really put a roof on the Saiyans. What we do know is that these movies are leading up to the end of Dragon Ball Z, and we always wondered how strong Goku and Vegeta were at that last. I believe it's called Tenkaichi Budokai, is how they pronounce it, which means translates to strongest under the heavens.
That's
When
right.
they were at that last tournament, and they were looking for Oob, or Goku in particular was looking for Oob, we always wanted to know how strong Goku was. Um, and I think these movies are kind of giving us some answers. I don't think they're going to lose these power ups. They're going to keep them, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
think
one of
it's
the
just
theories
film.
that they're going to lose their power in the next movie.
I
That's
don't.
one of
I
the
don't think they
theories.
will. No, especially if they've gone to the effort of explaining, that this is kind of a mastered Super Saiyan God. You know what I mean? They don't have the time limit like they did before. They can maintain this form. So if they can maintain the form, I don't see them losing it. The question, yeah, you're right. The question though is how do they evolve from this form in the next movie? Hopefully they don't just go with a simple direction of making it a Super Saiyan 2 God, because then they'd really be repeating themselves, I guess.
I mean, but here's the thing, bro. At some point, it's gonna get played out. I mean, let's be real. Let's be 100% real about this. Let's say in the next movie, it's blue hair, but it's long, like SSJ3, or like you said, like SSJ2. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, I gotta be honest. It's becoming. This is gonna sound weird, but it's becoming like Digimon. One of the things I never liked about Digimon, right? And I did like that show, but one of the things I
Yep.
never liked is that every single, and I'm starting to get mad thinking about it. Every single way out of a problem was always a new form. Oh
Yeah.
well, they're losing, new digiform, new digiform, new digiform, and I feel like Dragon Ball's going down that path now, where it's like every new movie there's a new form, every new challenge they're gonna have to unlock a new form, and it seems like, I don't want to throw out the lazy storytelling thing, but it seems like it's just a trope. It seems like it's just another crutch,
Yeah.
but at the same time, they have to get new powers because every new villain's going to be stronger, and thus the storyline kind of demands for them to get to some new powers. But I would like it. One thing I like about the Buu saga is that even though Goku achieved SSJ3, it wasn't enough to win the thing. He couldn't beat Fat Buu, or even though
Yeah.
he claims he could, or Kid Buu just with that form. It took a lot more than that. But with these movies, it's like now we're seeing a new form, new form, new form, and I'm just looking at it like, okay, we got to sell toys too.
Yeah. Look, I'll be the first to say that the idea of Goku and Vegeta being at such a level now that no one in the Dragon Ball Z universe can touch them except for Beerus and Whis, I kind of like that. But at the same time, it would be nice to see no new transformations in this movie and just see how far their base forms have been taken. Because we all like the idea that Goku and Vegeta are now that insanely strong. And I keep referring to Goku and Vegeta because let's face it, they are obviously the main protagonists in the series. Goku in particular.
Especially now, right?
Otherwise, yeah, they wouldn't be the ones training with Whis. So look, I would like to see their base forms get some progression because, especially when we see, I think we do see in the movie their base forms are what's fighting Whis. They're training together against Whis in their base forms, and it would kind of show how far they've come as characters if their fighting skills are that great that they could beat anyone in the Dragon Ball Z universe just in their base form. They didn't really need a new form in this movie in some regards. I guess it's just what the fans want. I would have been happy to see Vegeta beat Frieza in his base form. I wouldn't care if he even went Super Saiyan, if you get what I mean. But it's kind of what the franchise, like what the fans of the franchise as a whole demand. They want new forms. That's just basically what they know. They expect it from the people who make the show.
That was kind of my whole thing. Like, what is that all about? Because remember, like, one of the topics of discussion when the movie was first coming out, and also with the end of Dragon Ball Z, the Oob thing was Goku fought Oob in his base form, and we had always, after Battle of the Gods came out, and I think you and I talked about this off air. We talked about how Goku absorbed the God power, so we all thought that like the God power was just kind of in his base form, and and this is what I thought. I don't know if you'll agree with me on this one, but I thought that when he absorbed the God power, that the only time we'd ever see the red hair again is during the intense portion of a fight. Like, I thought if Goku's just fighting, we'd just see the black hair. But then when something got turned up, when he's losing, when he charges up, whatever, when he does a ki blast, we'd see the red hair kind of flare up, right? And that would kind of explain the Ubu thing.
That's a very legitimate point, and I kind of agree with you there because you do see when he's fighting Beerus at the end of the movie, and Beerus is about to destroy the planet, he does absorb that energy blast, and you see him revert to Super Saiyan God, true Super Saiyan God with the red hair sort of thing. Yeah, I don't mind the red hair either. It's him being slimmed down. I don't mind that his hair doesn't stand up like a Super Saiyan. I don't mind that it looks like his regular hair. But yeah, that's a very valid point you make.
Yeah, no, and then this movie comes out, and all of a sudden, the pictures of the toys leaked, and we're all like, that can't be real. I remember most of the people I talked to were like, that's not real.
Yeah, I saw the pictures, and I was a bit skeptical. I thought they were either bootleg or I did think it's a possibility that could be for the Dragon Ball Heroes game that some people might be aware of. Dragon Ball Heroes is a arcade game that's played in Japan, but yeah. I thought that those figurines may have been for Dragon Ball Heroes in Japan. A small part of me thought that, but I was kind of disappointed when I saw those figurines. Not because it ruined or spoilers for the movie or anything. It was more I was hoping if they did give Vegeta Super Saiyan God and then Goku would have his red hair the way it was in Battle of the Gods.
Goku has red and Vegeta has blue.
Vegeta has blue.
Thought, yeah.
Yeah, and Vegeta would have because Vegeta's hair doesn't need to change; it can just stay blue because it's going to look the same. Vegeta's hair always looks the same, pretty much, whether he's in SSJ1, SSJ2. His hair always looks pretty much the same; it just gets a bit more spikier. So they could have just left it, his hair exactly the same and made it blue, and left Goku's hair exactly as it was at the end of Battle of Gods with the red tint, but in his base hairstyle. That would have been pretty cool, I think.
And I think this is probably why I'm such a fan of Golden Uzaru. I had a lot of people in the comments section for that GT video I did ask me, what do I think about SSJ4? And SSJ4 does look different, but it's still just a different form. Whereas Golden Uzaru from GT just looks, it's totally different because now it's like you're not even in a humanoid body. You're a giant ape. And so now it's like, okay, now it's like a real, like, actual transformation, like out of this world. So I don't know. What else could they possibly do? We've seen. I almost feel like, I like the way the new form looks. I really truly do. But I almost feel like for the next movie, I feel like I don't know if they should even give these guys a new form. Only because, like, what else can you do? We've seen gold hair, we've seen red hair, we've seen blue hair now, and black hair. We've seen Brawly. He's got green hair.
Yeah, we've seen crimson red hair on Gogeta, so we've seen crimson red for Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta.
Yeah, so what I mean, are they gonna go? What other colors are left? Or white? We saw that on Baby, Vegeta Baby
Yeah,
earlier.
baby. Look, the
Yeah,
only look from a fan point of view, and this is just my opinion, from the
purple.
direction of the purple. No, for the next movie, I think the direction they should be taking it, and I hope this doesn't warp the end of the series if they do take this route. But I think what they should do is go the seven, elaborate on the, and we spoke about this the other night off air also. Go with the 12 universes or 7 universes, whatever it was, and kind of separate them into a two-part movie. But don't make Goku and Vegeta so strong that they just win the battle. Like, make part one maybe so Goku and Vegeta, because we assume that Goku and Vegeta are roughly equals now. They both have the exact same form. They both smashed around Frieza. So we assume that they both got the same level of power. Let's make it so they don't win the next movie. They get beaten. They come up against an opponent, sort of similar to what happened with Beerus, but an opponent that they just cannot beat, and they have to go back to the drawing board and get stronger. Something like that.
Yeah, and
Don't
go ahead.
don't give them a new form. I was just gonna say, don't give them a new form in the next movie. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and they have to. I would like them to not get a new form, but I would like them just to become better fighters. Like I really like the direction they were going with Whis training them and showing them kind of new, their
Yeah.
weaknesses. Like that I really like.
Yeah.
Without having to rely on a new form every movie. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just because I mean again, I know they got to sell toys. I totally get all that. But again, if you explore the 12 universes, and I like your idea where they where they take them the next movie and it's like a two-part movie. One of the rumors, we're gonna get into spoiler territory here, folks, for a different franchise altogether. But one of the rumors for the Avengers films coming up, and I'm not talking about Age of Ultron, I'm talking about the Thanos films, Infinity War Part One and Part Two, is that in Part One the good guys get wiped out, and then in Part Two they win at the end, right? And that they could use that formula for Dragon Ball,
Yep.
for a
Absolutely.
Dragon Ball movie.
And why don't they kind of take a bit of Avengers-esque, like, and just put it in Dragon Ball Z. I miss the days where, and I'm not really hating on anyone like Piccolo or Gohan here, but I miss the days where Gohan was relevant. I miss the days where Piccolo was relevant. Man, I love Piccolo. Piccolo and Gohan, they're both awesome characters, and I feel sorry for as a Vegeta fan. I'm not in the same shoes as them because he's kind of getting a bit of limelight in this movie, but I feel sorry for them that those two characters, because they're the other two main characters, are getting so far left behind. I mean, I'd love for Piccolo and Gohan to somehow become relevant for the franchise again, because really, let's face it, they're not. Piccolo's smart and his knowledge always comes in handy, but as a fighter, he's useless compared to Goku and Vegeta now, and same with Gohan. He's a smart kid, but he's really got nothing on the two main characters. Give
Yeah,
them something to do. Give them something to do in the new movie where they're relevant.
and here's the thing: do you think that Goku and Vegeta are too powerful? I mean, at this point, like you talked about, at this point they kind of have to bring in somebody who's gonna at least challenge them. At least.
Yeah. Yep.
Because think about it. Remember what they said at the end of Fukkatsu No F. Spoiler. They said, remember what they said in the last scene where they're like, Beerus and Whis are like, if you guys had teamed up against Frieza, you would have finished them in no time. So
Yeah.
they got to find a guy who they team up against and they lose.
Yeah.
Or they lose individually and then they have to team up to win.
Exactly. Yeah. Or even if they make it so they could take it down the path of the 12 gods, the 12 universes, and each character is assigned one of the universes to go to, sort of thing, or a quadrant of universes to go to. Now that's an entirely different thing altogether, and it would make for a lot of storytelling. But imagine
you're looking at like 4 or 5 movies now.
Yeah, but just think about it. Like even people like Tien Shinhan get his own place to go and fight. Like Piccolo has to go off and fight this universe. Like I'm just spitballing here. I'm just coming up with ideas. But there's so much potential there. But I think they need to definitely, Goku and Vegeta have had their limelight, especially in this new movie. They need to kind of bring the other guys back and give them some love too for the other people in the franchise.
I thought we were gonna see it, man, with the trailers and everything. I thought we were gonna see it, more of it. I mean, they get their moment, but because we do know that Roshi and Krillin, they all get their moment. They do, but. I guess I would have probably liked it better if they got more of a moment. I mean, I was perfectly fine with them like kind of beating Frieza's henchmen and shit. Like I was fine with that. But yeah, you know what though? Honestly, I don't know if we're ever gonna see Gohan ever. I don't know if we're ever gonna see him get climb that ladder again, bro. I think his time came and.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Gohan did have his time. He beat Cell. If you go by anime canon, he did beat BoJack. He beat he kind of beat Broly, so well with the help of his father and Goten. But there's kind of like there he's had his moments, but
He beat Super Boo.
he beat Super Boo. I want Gohan, and I feel sorry for the Gohan fans in particular in this movie that it makes sense why Frieza beat him even in his first form in a way because he's trained that hard. Even though 4 months is kind of a cop out in a way, but I
First
do feel.
form.
I do feel sorry for Gohan getting beaten by first form Frieza. I feel sorry for the fans that love Gohan. They like idolize Gohan as their character, and I can imagine their hurt and their frustration when they see Gohan get beaten by first form Frieza, considering how far he's come since Namek. Like, I understand that's a completely different first form Frieza altogether, but yeah, 4 months of training, it's a bit hard to believe that his first form could beat Gohan there.
And with one shot too.
Yeah.
So Gohan fans should just stop watching after the Cell game. Maybe watch the BoJack movie like you said, but then that's it. Like, just stop watching.
Yeah.
Right? It seems that way, right? I was gonna do another video later on about whether or not Dragon Ball should have ended there because you could really make an argument.
You could, yeah, absolutely. That's a good topic. But look, if they do see something in the next movie, yes, I think they should stop with the extra transformations. I think I like this transformation, but they should just stop there and just think about what they're going to do as their next move. You know what I mean? So
yeah. So okay. So you're all for this one, but you kind of think that this should be it for at least a little while.
There has to be a wall, yeah, because work on their base. How much further can you really go when you think about it?
And to add to what you're saying, what about Oob at the end of Dragon Ball Z? I mean, does this by default make him even more powerful than we thought originally? And that brings me to another point. I think that whether it be the God form we saw in Battle of Gods or in Fukkatsu No F, I think Goku or Vegeta could wipe the floor with Kid Buu now.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's like, why is Oob in theory should be weaker than Kid Buu because he's a reincarnation, but he doesn't have the experience that Kid Buu has or the ability.
Yeah, hasn't tapped into his latent power, so to speak. Well, I was of the firm belief the second I read the plot to the movie that Vegeta and Goku are that far above anyone in the franchise now that they could just crush them, and that includes Kid Buu, every form of Buu, whether it be Buu with Gohan absorbed it, they would both crush any of them. And the reason I say that is because it was kind of said in the last movie that God Ki can't be sensed, and while that's not an accurate indicator of how strong they are, if you can't sense their ki, like you can't sense Beerus's ki, you can't sense Whis' ki. They're just on a different level altogether. There's something about being called a god. So they're Vegeta and Goku are at a god level now. No one in the franchise can really touch them bar Beerus and Whis. So they've had their moment. They need to come up with some new ideas. Don't make them even stronger because they're already so far. Like, think about how far Beerus and Whis are above Goku, but then think about how far Goku and Vegeta are above everyone else now. Like, so far ahead.
And now Beerus and Vegeta, Goku and Vegeta might be on par with Beerus. We don't know that. They might be.
We don't know. Yeah, they might be. Yeah, if they teamed up together, you don't know. They could, yeah.
Who knows? But it's one of those things where, like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I'm excited for the movie. I really am. I want to see. It looks beautiful. It looks just as an incredible movie. What I wish they would do is, since these guys are so fucking strong now, they need to have it so where, like, I want to see a battle, and they've never done something quite like this, but we've seen teases of it. I want to see a battle that's so out of this world that, like, literally galaxies are being destroyed. Like, they fight somewhere, not on Earth, but somewhere in space, and like they throw somebody through a planet, and the whole planet just shatters. Like, that level of power, and you would think they could do it. I mean, you would think so. They're really, even though there was a big spike between SSJ1 and SSJ2, it really didn't seem like that big of a spike in comparison to the powers that they have now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So no, absolutely. I would love to see that sort of thing. And the path you could go there is Goku and Vegeta doing the whole galaxy thing and going off to fight people in the different quadrants of the 12 quadrants, so to speak, to go fight the gods there.
Yeah, the 12 universes or whatever.
Imagine just spitballing again as an idea, Goku and Vegeta had to challenge to become Goku did decline not to become a god of destruction at the end of Battle of Gods, but imagine Goku and Vegeta stepping up and becoming gods for different quadrants of the galaxy. That'd be pretty awesome. You know what I mean? Where they both get powers instilled to them, where they can travel to any part of the universe at any given time, like Whis, and they can destroy planets as they see fit. You know, that's
not really in their nature, though, especially not Goku's.
Not Goku, but yeah. that's me spitballing. Like, it would be a good idea to maybe have them go fight the gods from the other quadrants. That'd be interesting.
I mean, what I thought that they should have done. This is gonna sound wacky right here, bro, but this is something that popped in my head before Fukkatsu No F came out. I thought that Frieza was gonna kill Beerus in this movie. I really did think that. I
Yeah,
thought that his golden, or I didn't even know it was golden. We didn't know, remember, but we did know he had a further evolution. That we knew from the first full-length trailer,
yeah,
right? And I thought he was gonna tap into God form, which a lot of people thought, and that he was going to basically, they were gonna play off of they fucked up, bro. They had a lot of stuff that they could have done. And they really blew it. They really did blow it on this one. Because
yeah,
Beerus's comments about Frieza and Battle of the Gods, that sounds like a subtle build-up to a fight that we're gonna see. So I thought
yeah,
that Frieza was gonna fight Beerus. Beerus was gonna take it easy on him, and then Frieza was gonna show him the new evolution and wipe the floor with his ass and kill him. I actually thought that Beerus was gonna die in this movie, and that at the end of the movie, this is me spitballing, but it would be kind of cool. At the end of the movie, Whis would tell Goku, he'd be like, in 5 years, there's going to be a tournament, and I want you to find this kid. Who is the kid? He's the reincarnation of Boo. I want him to be the new god of destruction. And then we find out that at the end of Z, that the reason why Goku flew off with Oob was to go find Whis and appoint him the new god of destruction. That would have been a totally great ending to Dragon Ball, I think, and it would have twisted the ending. I don't know if you like that or not. It would have
that
been
is
like,
that. That's fantastic. It just shows, man. Like, us as fans, if we can think of those sorts of endings, why aren't they doing it? I guess. But my thoughts and theory before the movie came out was actually that this was Frieza from an alternate, one of the other quadrants or the 12 universes, and that he had ascended to God level in that one of those universes. Or I don't know if they were if Beerus, or I don't know if Beerus described them as alternate universes or
he
as
said different universes. So it's like
different
12
universes.
different universes, yeah.
Yeah, so that's all right, because I was of the opinion that I thought Frieza might be a god in one of these other universes, and I thought that's the Frieza that they would be fighting in this movie.
So but why? But okay, well let me ask you this then: why would that Frieza have a beef with Goku and Vegeta? You know what I mean?
Um, it could have yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. It could have transpired to a point where, uh, like, he survived Namek. He didn't go back to Earth. He didn't get killed by Trunks. That sort of story, and
Yeah, he's out
by
for revenge. But when he
he's
got
out.
to Earth, Goku and Vegeta are dead because the androids took him out. That's what you're saying. So he's like,
Yeah,
fuck,
now you
I
get
gotta kill Goku and Vegeta. Let me find another one.
I wasn't going with that part. You're right. I reckon the androids wiped Goku and Vegeta and everyone out, but Goku and Vegeta kind of found Frieza when they were doing the other galaxies sort of thing. They found Frieza when they were going through with Whis. So yeah, that's not as, I don't think that's as good as your idea, to be honest with you. But I think that yeah, that's the sort of thought I had, that this would be a Frieza from an alternate universe. Goku and Vegeta wouldn't be in that universe due to the androids, and then they would find Frieza through traveling through the different quadrants. I thought this would be one of the quadrants they'd go through. They'd be like, Frieza's the first god you'll be facing, sort of thing.
Yeah, and then not just that, but the other talk or whatever was that he was a clone, and that because that scene of in the first trailer of First Form Frieza with the sludge all over him. I mean, now we know what that is, but beforehand, a lot of people thought that what happened was that they went to Earth, talking about Sorbet and Tagoma, and they got
Yep.
they found some kind of DNA sample. I don't know how the fuck a sample of DNA would have existed in years after Trunks chopped them up, or maybe they could do some shit where I don't know. I was thinking maybe they could do some shit where where Sorbet and Tagoma actually find some of Frieza's blood in like a jar somewhere on some. I'm just going wacky, bro. In a refrigerator on some planet somewhere, and then
Yeah.
they use that to clone him and bring him back to life. I remember the clone theory was a popular one too.
That was, yeah. I thought of the theory I came up with was before the first trailer. So when it was just a poster, you know what I mean, kind of, when it was just a poster and they had.
I thought the same thing. It could have been
Yeah.
a different universe.
Yeah, this is when the only trailer of this movie we had before it even had a name was when you saw Goku power up to Super Saiyan. And then the poster came out. This was when I was around the time I was thinking Frieza was a god from an alternate universe. But then when they released the first official trailer, I obviously started thinking otherwise. But yeah, I did like your idea as well, man. That was a really, really good idea. Well thought out idea.
Yeah, and it's funny because when that first poster dropped, the one that has Frieza on the front, I remember just I remember the first thing I said. I'll never forget it, bro. I'm at work. It's like 8 in the morning. I see it come up on my feed, and the first thing I say is, "What the fuck is this?" That was the first thing I said, and then I started asking around. I was like, "This is legit?" And it's like, "Oh, it's on Anime News Network." Oh, it's legit. What the fuck? Like it was weird seeing Frieza there.
Yeah,
Right, and then you see him when he's got that aura, and you're like, okay, well, this guy obviously gets God form. I guess not, but the thing that struck me about that poster though is that you see Whis, and Whis looks like he's about ready to kick somebody's ass in that poster. He's got his mouth open, he's holding his staff, he's getting ready to fuck somebody up. So I was
yeah,
excited, bro. I was like, okay, is Frieza gonna be so strong that even Whis has to
yeah,
step in? And I'm not saying he's gonna beat Frieza, but at least fight, like.
yeah,
But then and then you start thinking to yourself, okay, what could they possibly do to make this guy more powerful? And then we find out 4 months. It's like, okay, I hated it at first, and now I'm okay with it. But there's probably 50 different, I guess,
yeah.
ideas that are better or whatever. I don't know.
That's it. Yeah, yeah. Like I said at the start of the video, I'm just thankful we have more content after 17 years of waiting. It may not be what everyone wants, but it's still going to be a really great spectacle to go and see.
Yeah, like Julian said, it's a fun romp. I'm definitely gonna check it out in the summertime. People are talking about is there gonna be a leak or whatever. We're recording this right now, and I'm gonna assume that there hasn't been a leak yet by the time this actually gets put up. And here's the reason why that fan thing they did in LA, the pre-screening. There's so much security there. I'm just letting everybody know if there's a leak already up, then I'm wrong. All right, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But if there's not, you ain't gonna get no leak, folks, because it's very difficult for that stuff to leak. Now, will you get a leak after April 18th? I do believe we're gonna see some clips pop up online because if you remember when Battle of Gods came out, there were a couple of clips of Goku versus Beerus that popped up on the internet. Very short ones, and they were kind of like they were shot with a hand camera. They weren't really easy to see. I think
Yeah,
we'll see something like that, but as
yeah,
far as the whole movie leaking in good quality, anything can happen. I just don't see it happening. However, when it airs here in this country, there's a much higher chance of this happening. I don't know if and I'm saying United States. I don't know if this is how it is where you're at, but the movie theaters down here, a lot of them don't even use film anymore. I didn't even know this until recently. They actually play an actual file, like a computer file.
yep, yeah. It's all done through digital distribution, and it's all of either a digital file or it's put on a storage device, and they play it off the storage device into the projector.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that changes things because back in the day, you couldn't steal. I mean, you could if you really were sneaky. You could steal the entire reel and then take it home and somehow master it. But most people don't have fucking video mastering equipment to take a movie reel and turn it into a file.
yeah,
But if it's already a file and you work at a movie theater, you could, and it's happened. It's already happened. You could
yeah.
take that file and leak it to the internet. So I think if we're gonna see a leak, it's gonna be after it comes out in the States and in North
Yeah.
America. So
Yeah, well, we'll get it probably in the following weeks after you guys. For a lot of people who don't know in Australia, a lot of people think we don't get stuff down here that the States get. We get all the same stuff, but it usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks longer, so we have a delay on it. So obviously, when you guys have it in summer 2015, in a month or two's time, it'll be winter over here, so we'll have it in winter over here.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the southern hemisphere's backwards. Your winter's in the middle of
Yeah,
the year,
yeah.
right?
Unfortunately, we have Christmas during the summer, and it sucks. So,
Well,
yeah.
I live in Florida, and there is no such thing as winter. So,
Yeah, well, you know what I'm going through then, man. It's quite during summer over here. It's quite hot and humid. So,
oh, I
yeah,
know what you're going through.
yeah,
That's the only way it is here. All right,
yeah.
well, everybody, comment, subscribe. Thanks for sticking around so long. This was a longer than I thought, but it was fun. Comment,
Yes.
subscribe. We'll come back with more talk later on different topics, but this is just something that popped in my head. I didn't want to really do it alone, and you know your shit, so that's
Thank
good.
you. Yeah.
Yep, and we will link to your YouTube, and then everybody can check out your your massive Dragon Ball collection.
Yeah, sorry for the poor collection, guys. I was shooting on a portable camera. I don't have a stand or a mount for my camera, so it's all done by me holding the camera. So, yeah, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, well, it's regardless. Everything came in clearly. You could see all the toys, and when I say toys, I mean everything, because it's a lot of. Yeah, I still don't understand why you have like the orange bricks and the dragon boxes and Kai on DVD and Blu-ray. I still don't get it, but
Yeah,
I
I
guess
gotta
when you're a
collect
collector, you know.
collector. Yeah, I gotta have stuff that's I gotta have everything, and I gotta have stuff that's opened and unopened. It's just the way I'm quirky like that, you know.
So if you've got to have everything, then why haven't you bought the Japanese singles?
Well, they're very hard to track down, and import-export fees are very expensive because the Australian dollar is not worth as much as, say, the European dollar, the American dollar, the euro, uh,
Really? So
the
even
yen.
from Japan to Australia, it's expensive? I never
Yeah,
knew that.
yep. Our money is worth about 74 US cents to a dollar. So we got one of our dollars is worth 74 US cents. So everything's more expensive in Australia, but our minimum wage is higher. So our minimum wage over here is I think around $650 a week after tax. So,
That's not bad, yo. Stick it to them.
but everything's more expensive, so there's drawbacks.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, that's gonna have to be like your real like your end game is to get all the Japanese singles because they're out there. You can buy them. They're not out of print or anything. It's just a matter of the expenses, you know.
Yes, I have to try. I
Or
have
you
to
can
try.
get the Spanish version, but I don't know if you're that hardcore. If you're really
Uh,
hardcore, bro, you'll buy the Spanish DVDs. You'll buy the Italian DVDs.
maybe one day.
Yeah,
I've
when you strike it rich, maybe, right?
Yeah, once I win the lotto, man.
You'll never
once I win-
watch it. You'll never watch it, but whatever.
No, that's it. Kai is my favorite version, and I know I get a lot of people hating on me for that, but Kai is my favorite version.
Well,
So
you're probably gonna have to buy that twice because there's two Buu Saga Kais. You know, the final chapter one and then the other one, the regular Japanese one. You know what
yeah,
I'm talking about?
that's correct. Yeah. I'm waiting for the US dub first, and when the US dub comes out, I'll look into all that.
All right. Well, thanks everybody again, and we'll catch you down the road.